Hi everyone, welcome to my first YouTube video. I figured that the best way to start my channel would be kind of telling the story of how I found out I was pregnant at 19. So I'm currently 27 weeks pregnant, officially entering my third trimester. Don't mind my messy background. That is, I guess, part of the story, the living situation, but I guess I will go ahead and get into it. So I had been on the pill since I was 14 when I was diagnosed with PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. So basically I was told at 14 that I would have a really hard time like conceiving children, that my periods were really painful and super irregular, and so that birth control would help with that. And there was a possibility of developing cysts and all of these other like complications. To be told at 14 was like really traumatizing, for a lack of a better word. So I had gone the last 5 years thinking that I basically would have a really hard time getting pregnant. But besides that, like, even if that wasn't the case, which it wasn't, I was really consistent within the last year with my birth control, because it just made my quality of life so much better to know when my periods were gonna be, have them be lighter, shorter, way less painful. Like before birth control, I could not be a functioning human the first 2 days of my period because I was just in so much pain. So I believe it was, I think June 6th of 2019, I was supposed to start my period like every month, routine, knew exactly. I tracked it on the app, and that morning I woke up and I hadn't got my period. Okay, whatever. I had gone the whole day and still no period, which was really weird for me, for it to not be on time. So I basically told my boyfriend, I was like, hey, this is kind of weird. I haven't got my period. And he's like, you're being dramatic, it'll come tomorrow, in the next couple of days, like, don't stress yourself out over something that isn't happening, basically. And I was like, no, like, it just really, it was not sitting right with me. So he went to the store, bought like a super cheap test. I took it, and within 5 seconds it was positive. Like, did not have to wait the 2 or 3 minutes, whatever the directions were, like bam, immediately. He was sitting on the bed, I was in the bathroom with the door open, and I was like, yeah, it's positive, I'm pregnant. And he's laughing, thinking that like it's a joke, like whatever, this is so funny, haha. And I'm like, no, like, and the shock the panic started to hit me, and I think that's when he came into the bathroom, because he realized like I was not joking. Like, all the color drained from my face, like my heart was beating, and he's like, maybe it's a bad test, take the second one in the box, maybe it's a bad batch, like I'm gonna go to the store, I'm gonna get the electric ones that say it, I'm gonna get the dropper, like every type of test. Like I probably took 6 or 7. So I take the second one in the box, same thing, bam, immediately shows up. And at this point it was still like, okay, maybe it is a bad batch, a bad box, it'll be fine, it's not happening to us, would never happen to me, yada yada. And the thing is, were we the most responsible we could have been with sex? No, clearly. But because of how consistent I was with my birth control, because I had been told it would be so difficult for me to get pregnant, because I literally knew the day I missed my period, I was like, this is not normal for me. It sounds so cliche and stupid, but you don't think it's gonna happen to you. So anyways, he goes to the store, buys a million different tests. Okay, I take the dropper one, the little cheap dropper one, immediately positive. Then I take the clear blue, tells you pregnant, not pregnant. And that one takes a while because it's electronic. And I'm not kidding you when I say I probably held my breath that entire 2 minutes that it took to load. Sure enough, pops up pregnant. So at this point, it's there's no denying that I'm pregnant. So I'm sitting on the toilet, crying, sobbing, freaking out about we can't have a baby. I remember saying my dad is gonna be so disappointed in me. Everyone is gonna be so disappointed. This is not how it was supposed to be for me. I'm a college student. I couldn't believe it. And my boyfriend started basically almost vomiting because he was so worked up. He was gagging, gag reflex, anxiety kicked in, was going to vomit, which is funny now, but at the time it was really. So he looks at me and he's like, I need to call my mom. Okay, so he leaves me there. I'm sitting on the toilet just staring down at these tests my life is over. And his mom is a RN, so basically he called her and was like, I have to tell you something, you have to swear that you're not going to tell anyone. And she was like, okay. And he was like, Devin has taken multiple tests, they've all come back positive, what do we do? And thank God for his mom, for so many reasons, but thank God for her. So she was the first thing you need to do is, oh sorry, my dog's back there. The first thing that you need to do is go to a clinic, get the blood test, get your blood drawn, and make sure that you're pregnant, how far along you are, find out how far along you are so you can talk about your options, whatever. She gets on the phone with me, I'm still sobbing, and she was like, it's gonna be okay. Whatever you decide, whatever decision you feel in your heart is a decision you need to make. Know that I love and support you, and Brian loves and supports you, and it's gonna be okay. No matter what decision you make, you have options. You have so much love and support surrounding you and surrounding Brian, and it's gonna be okay. And that was that's what I needed to hear during that time, is that it was gonna be okay, that no matter what, there are so many people that love us and would love this baby or would support our decision to not have a baby, that it was gonna be okay. So I think it was pretty late in the day, or it might have been a Sunday. So the next day we were looking at all these different clinics. A lot of them didn't offer the blood test. Planned Parenthood, there was a local women's clinic. And then I remembered, because I'm a student, we have a health center on campus, and called them, asked if they did it, and they said yes. So we went, we got my blood drawn. They asked a bunch of questions about when my last menstrual cycle was, yada yada. And so it was going to be like 2 or 3 days until we got the results. So we went back home, we waited a couple of days, and already the morning sickness, which it isn't even morning sickness, like you're sick all day, had hit me. I was living off of like Progresso soup and saltines because that's all I could keep down, and ginger ale. I was miserably sick. I'm sure that my anxiety didn't help, and just to like kind of help you understand like what the situation was, is I met my boyfriend away at college, and we're both from basically the same hometown by coincidence, which is about 3 hours south of where we go to school. So, and we live together in an apartment. I'm sorry if you can hear my roommate's vacuum. That's probably really annoying, but roommates, whatever. So I didn't say anything. My dad, my mom, my best friend, like no one, not until I was gonna get that blood test back, and then we were gonna go from there. So 2 days later, we get the call. Yeah, your HCG levels show, they were like at 20,000 or something. They're like, you're definitely pregnant, and you're probably around 5 or 6 weeks pregnant. And I was just like, oh my god, I've been pregnant for a whole month. Like, that's crazy. And so we planned a trip home to tell my dad and see his mom and make a decision on what we were going to do. And ultimately we decided that my boyfriend is 21. I had to think about that. My boyfriend is 21. I'm 19. And we decided that, you know, let's do it. Let's have a baby. And so again, I am 27 weeks pregnant. So entering my 7th month and my 3rd trimester. And we are moving back home in December once my boyfriend graduates from college. I still have about 1.5 years left, which I plan on finishing. So that's really the story of how I found out I could do a whole video on basically the symptoms looking back now that I didn't realize were symptoms that kind of gave away the fact that I was pregnant. And I plan on doing a video on how all of our friends and family and everyone reacted. But this was just kind of the basic skeleton of the beginning of it all and finding out. And if maybe I'll do a video with my boyfriend, baby daddy, on his perspective of it all, because I was freaking out. And it's so funny because now, like, I'm so excited to meet this little human being that I don't even know, but I'm very, very excited. And we're having a boy, by the way. We're having a son. So I think that is about everything. So if you're interested in hearing more of my journey, or you have questions on pregnancy, teen pregnancy, being pregnant in college, navigating relationships in college, navigating relationships while you're pregnant, like, just let me know. Feel free to subscribe, like, comment. You can follow me on Instagram at Devin Cloudis. And I think that's about everything. So thank you if you've watched this far, and I will see you in the next one.